Hi,
Hello.
hello. All right,
Hi.
I see you. Oh, 1 second, 1 second. Internet connection. So, can you hear me? Oh, good, good. Okay.
Okay.
So, you hear me well, see me well?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Are you going to record this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so right now I'm recording. So, if you're ready,
Okay.
we can start. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, dear viewers. Today, my guest is an incredible Indonesian writer, singer-songwriter Dee Lestari. Hello, dear Dee.
Hi, Mariah. Is that how I call you?
Yeah, you can call me Mariah, you can call me Mary, so basically there are a lot of forms of my name.
Okay.
But I also saw that
Okay.
you're known as Dee Lestari, but there is also another form like
D. Yeah.
Devi
Yeah. So you
Lestari.
can also call me D.
All right, great. So let's start with the first
Perhaps
question.
that's easier.
Yeah. More than 2 years have passed since the beginning of Russia's aggression against Ukraine, and what do you assume about this?
I believe that war is always a tragedy for humanity, and I really wish things can be resolved peacefully as best that we can achieve. And I really do hope that every suffering and all the pain that the war had caused will be alleviated soon from the people of Ukraine, and perhaps both sides, because um, I know that civilians are pretty much suffering right now from both countries. So I really do hope that we can have a peaceful resolution for the situation.
Yeah. You were born in Bandung, West Java, in a religious Christian family. What was your childhood like there, and did you always dreamt of becoming singer, writer?
I think it's pretty unconventional for children uh, in my era to, dream about becoming a singer or becoming an artist one day. We were conditioned to perceive professions like doctors,
Um,
like engineers, are the
Prestigious. Hmm.
the careers to go, but not as a singer or author. But since I was small, those are two things that I'm really fond of. They are my hobby. Nobody told me to write, nobody told me to sing. I just do it. And at school, I'm very active in all kinds of music activities. I played in bands, I sang in a choir. I was a conductor for my choir. I was a vocalist for my vocal group. So I think music and also literature, I always loved reading and writing, has been something that I feel very close to since I was small. And I also grew up in a very artistic family. Most of them play music and even play professionally until now. So even though I never consciously saying that, okay, I'm going to be this and that when I grow up, it's somewhat a path to live for me since I was small until now.
Great, and I think it was also really good that you were surrounded with, like in your family, that your family members played an instrument, like were also musicians, artists, and that you were so
Yes.
involved in this field, so that you right now you can enjoy what you do and live from it. That's always great.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Exactly.
in 1993, you formed the girl group RSD, Rita Sita
Yes.
Devi. So the names of your friends and yours name. With your friends and together you released 3 albums and the greatest hits album on Warner Music and Sony Music. Was it easy to
Mhm.
form a group with your friends, and how did the process of making music together look like?
Well, actually, at that time, so I started my career as a backing vocal first. So in 1993, I started out as a backing vocal, and Rida Sita Dewi only came up in 1995, actually, and
Ah,
that was also the year when our first album was released. It was called Antara Kita, or loosely translated into English is Between Us. So that was our first album. And the group was rather formed by a producer. So it's not initiated by us, but I did sing with Sita, one of the members, for a very long time. I knew her since high school, and then we started out as a backing vocal together. 2 years professionally, also with Sita, and I got to know Rida when we formed the group. But it was initiated by the producers. So the producers from Warna Musik wanted to create a female vocal trio. And so I was one of them because I sang with Sita for a long time, and she felt like, okay, you got to come with me. You know, we've been singing together for so long, and you know my voice, I know your voice very well. So I ended up being in a group, and I think the biggest adjustment, because me and Sita used to sing as a backup singer, and now we become the front man for the, you know, we're no longer backing up someone, but we are becoming our own artist at that time. So it was quite a big adjustment, because then, you know, the spotlight was directly at
Pointed at
us,
you.
not, yeah, not, we were not the shadows anymore. So that was a big adjustment. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it is actually a logical way of in like of development in this career. So first you
Yes,
got
yes,
got an experience in the back, like in the vocals,
yes,
exactly to do something
right,
for someone, and then
yes,
you're on your own. So it was kind of like a casting, initiated by the producers, and you just went with your
right,
friend. Oh,
right, that's right.
but interesting. You made you made your debut as a writer with a serialized novel Supernova, published in
Hmm.
2001. Yes,
Hmm.
and which
True.
which turned out to be a huge success. 7,000 copies were sold in just 2 weeks. So, how long
Mhm.
did you work on your first book, and did you expect this book to be such a success?
Hmm. So I wrote since I was small. I mean, I always loved fiction, and I think I have so many unpublished work in my computer at the time. But somehow, there was something different about Supernova. It's kind of instinctive. Like I knew that, okay, this is gonna be my first published book, and that was the time where I was just about turning 25-year-old, and I wanted to, you know, create something, like leave a mark to celebrate the, you know, a point in my life where I turned 25. So I wrote the manuscript. I think I spent around 6 months to write the novel, and it was self-published in the beginning. And no, I didn't expect that it was, you know, a successful debut, because there was one point where I thought, okay, I'm gonna self-publish, and I'm probably gonna sell this book for the rest of my life, you know. I, and so turns out I sold 14,000 copies at that time in just 2 weeks. And it was such a huge number for Indonesia book industry at the time, especially for the, you know, debut author. So I think my life changed ever since. And, you know, now, how many years later now? 23 years later now, I'm still known for writing fictions, and being an author has been a professional career for me right now.
Wow. You also have two solo albums and have written songs for well known Indonesian artists. How is the process of writing songs different from writing novels or for example, short stories for you? And what is easier to write, maybe?
Okay. Well, essentially, they both are the same in terms of storytelling. You're basically telling a story, but you know, using different mediums. And with songs, I got supported by lyrics and melodies, And with fiction, I need to create a world, a structure, characters, and it's like a building a world on its own. And I must say, even though they both serves different purposes, uh, but writing fiction is much more difficult. Why? Because first of all, it's the volume of the work. I can write a song in matter of a day or probably a week, but for fiction, I will spend like 6 months to 9 months just to finish one book, and it's a marathon, so it's really heavy psychologically. I have to fight my boredom, fight the writer's block, whatever, and so many technicalities, technical issues, in writing books. It's much quicker to write a song. But of course, the satisfaction is somewhat different yet the same, because at the end, you accomplished telling your story. And for me, that is the most important thing. And somehow, creating a song, because it got supported by melody, and we don't have that in fiction. So there's a different satisfaction, different sense of accomplishment. Like, you can create a very long lasting and memorable songs. Wow, that was also something that is very meaningful for me.
Perahu Kertas.
Yes.
A Paperboat was made into a film in 2009, marking your debut as a screenwriter. The film became
Mhm.
one of the national blockbusters, and you were also involved in the making of the film, helping with casting and writing the screenplay. Whose idea was it to make a film based on your book, and do you remember any interesting stories which happened behind the scenes?
Okay. Well, 2009 is actually when the novel is released.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie itself, because of the process of
Of
the
making it?
production, yeah, I think it was released in 2012.
Okay.
And yeah, the movie was also a success. I think the casting, of course, the directing, the whole production uh, played a major contribution for that success. Um, but yeah, that was my first experience writing a screenplay, and to be able to do that, I need to learn everything from zero. Even though I have experience in writing fiction, but screenplay has a different set of rules, a more rigid system in a way, because you gotta determine everything by duration, and with the duration also comes cost. So there are many things in play, and also I need approval from the producers, I need approval from the director. So it was a very different different game. I did enjoy it, and I think that was a good experience. Writing screenplay taught me how to become a more effective storyteller, and I used that discipline back to my fiction writing. But it was not easy, in a way that I do not have the sense of freedom uh, compared to how I write books. It was totally my own freedom. I can do whatever I want. But in movie, because we have to work together with so many people, with so many parties, so I have to do a collaborative work, which
Yeah.
is something that I was not accustomed to. Yeah.
And I also wanted to ask, so you said that it was your first time of writing screenplay. So how did you
Mhm.
prepare for writing it if it differs from writing fictional books? Did you get a help from someone or was it your intuitive thing?
I took course. I took a course, and then of course I read books about screenplay and practice. I I learn from watching movies and then compare it to the screenplays, and just practicing it on my story, creating all kinds of structures that was needed to build a screenplay. So it felt like being back as a student again, which I love because I love learning something new. So I didn't have any problem with that. I welcome the new challenges and new lessons.
About learning, what would you
Yes.
like your readers to take from your books? So, from fictional books, from songs you write.
Mm, mm. I think every work has different messages, but I do hope that my story can have a long-lasting impact for my reader. And I think the most meaningful thing that I could ever receive is, when a reader came to me and said that your book changed my life. Your book was there to help me to go through difficult times. Your book inspired me to write. Your book inspired me to read more Indonesian fictions. Those are the most meaningful things that I could ever dreamed of, becoming a writer, becoming a storyteller. That when your story touch people, I think that is something that nothing in this world can beat that feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We live in a time of technological innovation, and the internet has become an integral part of our lives. As an
Yeah.
author and writer, how do you see the future of books in this environment?
I think people always need stories. People will always need books. The format of the books can change. Back in the days, I don't have Kindle. Now I read mostly from Kindle. We don't have digital books. Now we have tons of digital books. We have platforms like Wattpad, and Blinkist. All sorts of ways to read and consume information. But I think the need for stories is always there because I think we are wired for craving for good stories, because I think that's the way we learn and navigate this life, by learning and being inspired by other people's stories, and then use those information to for our own lives, for our own benefit. So I think we will always have the need for stories. I cannot really know, the kind of evolution that we will have. Now we have AI, we have all sorts of technologies that I may not be the expert for this, but I think for no doubt that we will always need good stories.
Yeah, I also love reading, so that's why I think like books, it doesn't really matter in which format, but they will always be
Yes,
like a very important part of our lives, and they teach really a lot, like different genres, so for sure.
true.
So, do you know any Ukrainian musicians, singers, or maybe writers?
No, no. I'm so sorry if
No, no, no.
I'm not really exposed to it, but I really love to know. I'm curious.
So that's what we do here. I will sing
Okay.
you a Ukrainian song. This song is called "Хто як не ти" by Khrystyna Soloviy.
Oh,
She is a Ukrainian singer. And yeah, so I will sing you this song to get you introduced to Ukrainian music. So I hope you like it.
sure. Yay.
З тобою важко не зважати, від себе нікуди втікти. Сьогодні свято, завтра втрата, сьогодні ми, завтра вони. І я не знаю, де початок, і де кінець, це знаєш ти. На завтра можна не чекати, усе, що має, все бере. Хто, як не ти, спалить мости, хто ж побудує знов? Навчи мене жити, як ти, щоб не кипіла кров. Хто, як не ти, спалить мости, хто ж побудує знов? Навчи мене жити, як ти, щоб не кипіла моя кров.
Wow, very nice. Nice. Wow. I love your style of singing. It's very powerful.
Thank
Can you
you.
tell me what's it about?
Yeah, so this is the song. So if we translate it in English, "Хто як не ти," who if not you? So basically, this
Mm,
is about, I think, so the woman sings the song, and it is about like feelings that sometimes she is overreactive, and she says,
mhm,
"How like teach me how to live so that my blood doesn't
mm,
boil," something like that. So so that maybe when you're in a couple, so there is always like, for example, two people, and one person is can be sometimes overreactive and one more calm,
ah,
and it is more about how we perceive our life. But my favorite like line in the song is that today can be a celebration, for example, a festival,
mhm,
and tomorrow we can have a loss. And today that
mm,
are we, and tomorrow it can be them. So it is also about predicting the future, and that the life can change like really in a nick of time. For example, if we look at the war in Ukraine. So for example, before we had peaceful life, like more or less,
yes,
yeah, because the war
yes,
has started in 2014, but then like the life has divided into two parts, like before and after. So
right.
we don't really know what can happen tomorrow. So that is
Mhm.
also like the message of the song.
I see. Wow. Yeah, it made sense the way you sang it. I mean, I didn't understand the lyric for sure, but the spirit and the emotional expression were just exactly how you describe the lyric is. So, wow. Is it like a pop song or more a traditional song?
It's like
What
more,
genre is
it
this?
is like more a pop song, but we also
I see.
have a lot of Ukrainian folk songs I can send
Mm,
to you so you
mm.
can listen to it. But I also, for example, loved your song. I think it is called Berduka.
Berduka, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
because
yes. Morning. Yeah. Mhm.
I can't speak Indonesian, but it is
Yeah.
always interesting for me to listen to songs from different cultures, and I then try to look for the translation, and also your way
Ah,
of singing it. It was like really meaningful, so that's why I think I liked the song really much, because it's,
thank you.
and I think it can really help people in different times. So I really recommend everyone to listen to this song, and actually other songs as well. So yeah, thank you very much also for
Thank you,
doing what you do.
Mariah. Thank you. I hope all the best for you as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this interview. Thank you for talking with me
Yes.
today. And I hope that one day we will meet in Ukraine after the war, or in Indonesia. I would be very happy to visit this country.
Yes, please. Yes, yes. I would love to go to Ukraine one day.
Yeah, we are also waiting for you. So I wish you a nice evening. I think it is evening in Indonesia,
Yes, yes.
more
And,
or less.
oh, and I'm sorry for so many schedule changes,
No, that's all
but
right.
I'm glad you can accommodate. You know, my schedule has been so crazy in the past 2 weeks, but thank you so much for making time and making it for today.
No, that's absolutely all right. So you told me, and of course we are people, so we always have a change of
Right,
plans.
right.
So that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you anyways for talking with me today. I was really looking forward to it. So yeah, thank you
Yes,
very
you're most
much.
welcome.
All right.
Okay.
Have a
Good
nice
day for
evening.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.